Thank you, Miss. Thank you, Miss Chair. It's a pleasure to be here to exchange our view with you. I will exchange our view as a youth of Africa, one of African youths who have this problem of mobility and migration. Because it's a problem, but not like European people or European countries have seen it, but in our view, the main problem we have, and it is one of the perspectives we can focus on in the high level panel, is the problem to be considered as a human. An African citizen, especially a black African citizen, is not considered in the world. You can see it in the airports. When you are in the airport with an African passport, traveling to go to Asia or to go to Europe or to go to US or Latin America, you face more problem than another one. That is our problem. I remember I'm going to Mexico for the Global Compact on Migration meeting we have in Puerto Vallarta. I learned in Turkey, I came from Lebanon. When you're on migration, you travel every time. So I came for another meeting in Lebanon, going to Mexico, landed in Turkey. Because I have a Turkish passport, I was blocked in Turkey. I'm going for a migration meeting. I was blocked in Turkey because I am Togolese. That's the first thing we need to change this narrative of African be black in the world now. To be considered. But to be considered as equal people. To be considered also because we are in the globalized world. In the globalized world, we need to think in globalized mind. You need to have globalized mind. We need to know that people can get married by internet, as an example. That's part of globalization. You can be Togolese and get married to US people or to get married for Ethiopian girls. Or that's globalization. That's also part of migration. We need to change narrative. So in all these regards, because I know where the way youth in Africa are living now, we don't think that we can get married close to us. We think about the global world and our also view of the life. We need also to go abroad to be in mobility to study. Mobility is a good opportunity for youth to study more. It's more interesting than to stay in the classes, to stay in university, to learn more. Being in mobility is an experience life. Is experience entrepreneurship, is experience challenges. It's a way of youth also to learn. Then mobility is part of this for us. Then the big issues we have as youth in Africa now is the problem of mobility, internally and externally. It's not, you can forget for sometimes migration. Solve the problem of mobility before. What is this inequality between passport in the world? When you are a German passport is more valuable than you have an African passport. What is this inequality? We need to face this inequality and to respect African as well. The second thing we also, for our perspective, is the issue of migrant integration and rights in Africa and outside Africa. There is so many Nigerians everywhere you go. The Nigerian people used to say that if you go somewhere you don't see a Nigerian, be afraid. They're everywhere. And they change the world. And they change, especially in West Africa, we like them so much. And especially in Togo. There is so many areas we are Nigerians, and they change. We are Francophones in Togo. And because of Nigeria, we have become Anglophones now. We have their churches. We have their movies. That change also, that creates more integration in our continent. But we can't, this situation is not evaluated by countries as well. They don't evaluate it. In Ivory Coast, you have so many people from Burkina Faso who are there, who settled, who have children. But Ivory Coast don't have a model of integration to propose to Africa. There is a perspective you need to raise also. We need to talk with, as South Africa, with Zimbabwean people, with Mozambican people. We have also a model for integration to propose. What model for integration we can propose and what model we can propose to face xenophobia in our countries? That is our perspective we need to know. Model integration, not only to welcome people, but how we accept them to go to our schools, to have access to health, to have access to nationality. You will see people who are staying in the country for 20 years because they are foreigners. They don't have access to nationality, but they are there for 20 years. People who are born in some countries in Africa, but they don't have access to nationality. They can speak the language, but they still been foreigners for local people. This issue we have to also to face the issue of trafficking and smuggling. The transnational criminal organization have developed their network in Africa, more than other parts in the world. Our brothers for Eastern Africa suffer so much on that. Internally, in West Africa, we have people who are exploited as domestic workers, as in plantations. How to face also the issue of the trafficking and the smuggling of people. Why we have smuggling? We have smuggling because we don't have a regular channel for migration. It's the issue you have to raise every time. If you have, beside people who are trafficking or smuggling, say in example from Lebanon, a migrant who want to cross the Mediterranean Sea have to spend $1,000 as opposed to cross the Mediterranean Sea. And we ask foreign embassy in Togo, instead of spend $1,000 for the traffickers, why not create a bank account as a guarantee account for $1,000 in the bank, so people can have easily a visa. If you need a visa, create this account, $1,000. If you don't come back, if you overstayed, you lose your guarantee. You can save life if this kind of regular channels of creating. There are so many manners to save lives without giving money or giving business to traffickers. But more and more Europeans are strengthening their laws. More and more traffickers have jobs. The issue of environmental migration, I need to raise it because more and more Africa are faced into environmental migration now. In the situation in especially Sahel countries with the desert who are progressing. Most of the time they say we need to create employment, we need to give employment to youth, we need to develop agricultural employment. Well, you can develop agriculture when you see land who are not efficient now anymore. Land who are not efficient, you are see desert who are progressing, who are see the sea who are progressing. We don't have land, how you can develop agriculture? That leads to internal migration. Internal migration is the first step to international migration. Because people, the lands are not productive anymore because of climate change. What people do, they come to cities. They create suburbs. And they create problems, also violence problems, security problems. How to face this? The diaspora's problem. We like diaspora for their money, but we doesn't like them when they are engaged in politics. The question of dual citizenship. In so many countries in Africa is a problem. When they're talking about money, yes, they are very useful. But how not engage them in political ways also? Yes, the root causes, every time they raise the root causes, we say it so much. The question of governance. Youth are not involved in the governance in Africa, please. We have a pressure that our leaders don't hear our voice. It's why we are more and more radicalized, and we are getting in violence, in riots, in social movements, because they don't hear us. We need to involve more youths in the governance process and the issue of border management and security. Border management creates corruption in Africa. in link with mobility, border mobility create corruption. We can't talk about integration without raise also this issue of corruption in our borders. And to finish, what to do in our level? I mean, talking now about like civil society organization. What we do basically is to share information about processes ongoing in Africa, because one issue in Africa is that there is a lack of information circulation in Africa. People don't have information, and mostly have information in their languages. Not just intellectual talking French or English or Spanish or Portuguese, no, but in their languages, to know how the processes are going and to get their voice involved in that. How we can do with the recommendation is that to share information about the recommendation, and the civil societies actor will be the best one to push the government to make it, to implement it. The issue of monitoring the migrant rights in our countries. How, if you don't have a report of the migrant situation, we can't change things. Is why CSOs are more involved in migrant right monitoring. Advocacy also, we are very good in advocacy to make change. Sharing good practices. There is so many good practices developed by migrant communities as well, are developing good practices in their countries. Why? What is these practices? How to change? How to share these practices? And finally, the political dialogue. We need to make space to civil societies, to youth in political dialogue to express themselves. Thank you very much.